All right, what's going on, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy Headquarters, and America's team? It's your boy G, the number one Cowboy fan, Hampton, coming at you live, direct, and correct. And I have left my glasses on my face. Anyway, it is what it is. You know, hey, you get to that age where you have to wear your glasses so I can see. So I hope everybody's doing well today on this day of venting. That's where we are. We are on the day of venting. I had to put this video up early. I was trying to get the other guys on, but we have the championship game coming on tonight. So I said I got to get something on and start off the week. So take a little time to sit down here and talk with you guys for a little bit about yesterday's play. But first of all, I would like to say thank you to all those that have a part into being a part of the Cowboy Huddle. So I want to say thank you and welcome. Yeah. Right now, I'm trying to stay positive. You know, it's been really, really rough. And who was expecting what we saw yesterday? I have to admit, I think that was probably the worst game I've ever witnessed. No, I'm not going to say the worst, because the worst was probably when I witnessed Troy Aikman as a rookie and we went 1-15. That was bad. But this game on yesterday, sure, you can call it a division game. You can call it, division games are hard. True that. Folks, we were 12-4 at the time. We were 12-4 and we was on a run, and things were looking good. Especially the way this NFC is set up right now. The NFC is set up to a point to where it's anybody's game. And for whatever reason, we keep hitting the road bumps. But before we get into that, I want to give a big shout out to Tony Pollard. I can say this for one thing. This is one good thing that we can say. Tony Pollard's eclipsed 1,000-yard rushing for the season. Way to go, Tony Pollard, better known as TP. And he's also been selected to be in the Pro Bowl. But again, guys, we have problems in Dallas. And I did list this topic as deja vu. And we're going to get into what I mean by deja vu. Have we been here before? Has this happened before? We're going to talk about that. But let's get into the, into the good, the bad, and the ugly, which was posted by SB Nation. Only good thing that we can say about this and what was reported here is basically that Tony Pollard did reach the 1,000-yard mark. And a matter of fact, it was his career best at 1,007 yards rushing this year. So we definitely can say that is a good thing. Moving on to the bad thing. The bad things about this game on yesterday. The bad was Dak Prescott. Dak throws another interception, which now puts him at a total of 15 INTs. So, not only that, but he was 14 of 37 for 128 yards. So, I guess we all can agree that the bad was Dak Prescott. Now, I know some of you guys are going to sit there and say, well, that's my quarterback. Well, I'm sorry. Dak is starting to look like a 4th-round draft pick. My opinion. You might think something else, but I'm saying Dak is starting to look like a 4th-round draft pick. But And we're going to get more into Dak here in just a minute. I'm not going to hold you long, but I just want to sit down here and talk about this and, and want you guys to leave down in the comments about what you thought about the game on yesterday. So let's move on into the ugly. The ugly was everything else. The offensive line, the special team, the run game, the play calling. I don't get it. It was bad. The play calling was, it was, oh my gosh, it was horrendous. Quarterback play was horrendous. Special team was horrendous. Now we can say the defense, but I beg to differ. Defense did what it needed to do to keep us in the game. We just could not execute. We couldn't execute. But to not cross the 50, over half the 50-yard mark, half of the game is atrocious. We actually had 10 3-and-outs. They said that's the most in NFL history in one season, or tied or something like that. But yeah. So we're making history. Who do we blame? We blame everybody. Someone had asked the question, who watches film on today or tomorrow? Who watches film? The players, the coaches, the players and coaches. Some might say the players, some might say the coaches, some might say both. But personally, what I think, I'm holding my coaches accountable. And the reason I say that is because it's our coach's job to put our players in great situations. I understand what you're going to say. Well, it wasn't a coach that muffed the punt. It wasn't a coach that dropped the ball on the punt. It's not. But because of the lack of accountability, face to face, when you come to that sideline, KP, and you drop that ball, I'm getting in your face. Hey, you good? What's going on? I focus. Anger. Hey, come here. What happened? Okay, listen. Get your head out your butt. Do your job. Now I know a lot of you guys gonna say, "Well, it's a different type of day." Well, you know what? And that's why it's 27 years later, and we where we are because we feel that we can't say anything to the players because they make more than me. I beg to differ. You play for me, you gonna follow my rules. And again, yeah, the coaches didn't drop the ball, but it's the coach's job to make sure that though the players are focused, disciplined, okay, and held accountable, that it doesn't happen. And KP, baby, we waiting on you. We ain't seen a damn thing. Don't get comfortable with just because you're on the team. We still need you to produce because you hadn't produced since the preseason. Yeah, I'm that type of coach. I don't play. So this is what I'm doing. I want all my coaches in my office. Offensive line coach, because offensive line coach, your run block scheme was so basic that they were able to only rush 4 and drop 7 and still create pressure. You want to know why our run game wasn't effective? Because guess what? Joe Philbin and his basic run scheme block had our linemen double teaming. So no one was releasing downfield to pick up the linebackers. So when you double teaming, you know what happens? You got linebackers that run free. I believe Cowboys thought they had this one in the bag. And at the end of the day, I can truly say this was poor preparation. It's not the players' fault. It's the coach's fault. They were not mentally or physically prepared for this game. Starting with the head coach, why would you leave your starters in 4 quarters after you saw at the halftime by halftime that they just wasn't getting it? But you leave the starters in for 4 quarters, and then you finally put Cooper Rush in the game with 4 minutes left in the game, 5 minutes left. Now, me as a head coach, what I'm doing, Dak, first quarter, maybe second quarter. But for sure, third quarter, Dak, you're done. Now, I might leave my starters out there. Now, it depends on how I'm feeling. Dak is just really just jacking up the plays and with his throws and everything. I'm pulling him out the first quarter. Dak, come out. What are you talking about? I said come out. You're not in the game. Your head is not in the game. I don't know where your head is, but I need you to go hit the bench. Cooper, let's go. If we're going to lose this game, Cooper, go in there. Now, we said he's going to lose the game, but me as a coach, I'm creating controversy. Cooper, go out here and win this game. I can give a fat rat what the media thinks, what the people think, but guess what? I am not allowing my team to end the season like we started. Think about it. Tampa Bay, 19-3. You only got 3 points. So if that means for me to pull Dak because Dak cannot read the defense when there's a 4-man rush and they drop in 7, come out the game, son. So, yeah, head coach takes a lot of the blame. But because I'm the head coach and I see I'm my offensive coordinator, my offensive line coach, my special team coach, my receivers coach, and you probably wonder why, because some of them the routes are just garbage. Some of the routes are garbage. They're breaking soft. They're zigging when they should have zagged. Just a bunch of bull. So everybody comes to the office, and I'm going to sit down, and I'm going to put my foot down real quick, and I'm going to let y'all know. Listen, I don't know what's wrong with this team, but what I need you guys to do, all you guys that's getting paid to coach this team, I need you to fix it. But what I saw tonight was trash. It's okay to talk to your coaches like that. Dan Quinn, why would you want to put Mullen in? This is not the time. I understand. Well, why are you putting Mullen in? Because you guys thought it was going to be an easy game. Division games are never easy. When you should have left Nation right out there. At least get him a few reps. I want to understand why'd you do that. You know. Joe Philbin, don't just sit here and get a paycheck. I need you to draw up a scheme that's going to get our running game back into action. Kellen Moore, what the hell was that? And we're going to get into this Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott thing. But again, this is all about resilience. We have to be resilient. We got to move on. Let me tell you something. I remember having a puppy. And the only way I broke that puppy to be house trained, every time he took a dump in the house, I put his face in the poop. He didn't like that. Woo, come here. Smell it. Smell that. Then I put him by the back door. And I continue to do that. Then I started letting him out. I had to do my part. But when he knew that he's supposed to go to that back door and he didn't go, what is this? Because you got lazy. Moses, you got lazy. You don't want to get up. Well, look here. I'm going to show you what you did wrong. So it's no such thing as about moving forward without going back to what happened. Your past makes you stronger than before. Come on, man. We want to forget about the past. past is what got me to where I am today, because I'm not what I used to be in the past. We're moving forward. So, and Jerry Jones is saying, well, if this butt kicking doesn't wake up, no, that butt kicking ain't gonna wake y'all up. No, you and whoever else in that locker room as coaches, somebody need to cuss them boys out in there. Cuss them out real good. Cuss them out, starting with Dak. Starting with Dak. Yes. Everybody's held accountable. But so let me say this here, guys. So, and we'll talk about Dak. But you know what? I want to share this with you guys. And we looked at this offense. This offense just totally sputtered on yesterday. But I thought about this as well, what Jesse Holly said, and I think I shared this with you guys before. Jesse Holly said he believes that Dak has hit the ceiling. Jesse Holly was a former player. He's on a podcast as well. He said, I think Dak has reached the ceiling with Kellen Moore. Meaning that Kellen Moore is not an authoritative coach nor an offensive coordinator, to where he's not able to correct Dak. He's not able to motivate Dak. Why? Because Dak was a peer, Kellen Moore was a peer, peer to peer. They both was peers. You had a 4th round draft quarterback and I think a 3rd round draft quarterback. You got a 3rd round draft quarterback trying to coach up a 4th round draft quarterback. Now, when I say deja vu, I'm going to show you what I mean by this deja vu. Because here we are. You have a guy that was given to Mike McCarthy by Jerry Jones with very, 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 very little NFL experience. But you give him an offensive coordinator job to coach up his peer. To coach up his peer. Sorry about that. Let me see something. You give him the job to coach up his peer. How in the world is that going to happen? How does that work? When this man that played behind our starting quarterback had less reps than the backup quarterback, which is our starting quarterback, Dak Prescott, the 4th round draft pick, which leapfrogged the 3rd round draft pick. And we wonder why our offense runs the way it does. It's peer to peer. Now, let's think about this. Now, when Scott Linehan got here first, that is how Zeke got the name Feed Zeke, because you had this authoritative offensive coordinator that was teaching Zeke and Dak, which they both looked up to because of his experience. That's where Feed Zeke from. And he put Dak in position to do good things. Well, now you know we got rid of Scott Linehan. Have no idea why, but I think we would have did better if we would have kept Scott Linehan. I have no reason why, because we wanted Kellen Moore over Scott Linehan. So Scott Linehan left with Marinelli and all them boys, Jason Garrett and all them, which all those guys was handpicked too by Jerry Jones. So we wonder why our offense is not consistent. But somebody tell me, how do you get a guy that has very little experience on the field to call plays to a 4th round draft pick quarterback? Now I'm gonna take you even further back. And this is why I call this deja vu. Bill Parcells was the coach. Bill Parcells got to the point where he had to bring in a backup quarterback. That backup quarterback, I think he was undrafted. undrafted quarterback or 6th-round draft quarterback, or I think 6th-round quarterback. Tony Romo. Tony Romo was the guy when Parcells was there, and he continued on up under Scott Linehan, if I'm not mistaken. I think. But anyway, Tony Romo came in as the new starting quarterback. Again, Tony Romo is not a 1st-round draft pick quarterback. Listen, guys, y'all gotta understand there's a reason why these quarterbacks or all players are ranked in a certain round. Either it's what they have or what they don't have. So I say Tony Romo, and Tony Romo's was with us 12 years. He played 10 years out of the 12. Let me ask you guys this. What do we get from Tony Romo? Now, we're going to get into the deja vu. What did we get from Tony Romo the 10 years that he was actually active on the field? I'll wait. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do this here. I'll wait. Come on. Somebody tell me something. We got absolutely nothing out of Tony Romo. 10 years out of the 12 years he was here. And he got the big bag. Everybody say, oh, man, we can't do nothing because you got the big bag. Well, we gave Tony Romo the big bag, remember? So Tony Romo continued to be in the quarterback. And we brought in Wade Phillips as a head coach. But before we brought in Wade Phillips, the head coach, we already had an offensive coordinator. Y'all know who the offensive coordinator was? Oh, yeah, that's right. Another backup quarterback. Jason Garrett. Oh. You hear what I said? I said our backup quarterback was the offensive coordinator. Yeah. Now, if you don't know the history of Jason Garrett was another backup quarterback behind Troy Aikman. Okay? And it's funny because guess what? Your boy, Jason Garrett, didn't have any experience either. Very little experience. He came in and won one game for us against Green Bay back in, I think, 97, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I believe, but again, he had very little experience. Okay? So Jason Garrett was given to Wade Phillips. Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator before we had a head coach. And sure enough, Tony Romo was a backup quarterback being coached by a backup quarterback. Deja vu. Deja vu. And here we are again. A backup quarterback coaching a backup quarterback. I can't make this up, guys. I kid you not. I cannot make this up. But I want to share this with y'all real quick. And I want y'all to hold on one second. I want y'all to see this. This is beautiful. But, you know, like I say, this is what we were dealing with. We was dealing with backup quarterbacks coaching backup quarterbacks. Yeah, that's what we were doing. Wow. Can you believe that? So that's why I say this is deja vu. Deja vu all over again. Jason Garrett, Tony Romo, Kellen Moore, Dak Prescott. All of them backup quarterbacks. And these quarterbacks are who they are. But I want to share something with you. I'm going to show you something. This is what I miss. And then I'm going to let you go. This is a video. This is a video I want to share with y'all. And check it out. See what y'all think. Watch this. Check it out.
Somebody's got to get their attention, and I'll tell you, Jack, I am tired of being a guy who's got to run down everybody's damn throat all the time. Coach gets over there and does something about it. Instead, we want to go over and pat everybody on the ass, and they haven't done a job all night. Guys out there off, and nobody says anything about it. We got a head coach who won't say anything about it. We got coaches offensively who won't do anything.
See what I'm talking about?
I mean, enough's enough. Babysitting's over. Hey, guys.
The good old days. The good old days. I mean, let's talk about that real quick. Troy Aikman was passionate about the game, and he got on his linemen when they wasn't doing their job. He got on everybody, and he made it known when he was pissed off. But you know who else does that? The GOAT. Tom Brady does that. Gets on his players when they're not producing and when they're not executing. You know who else does that? Peyton Manning. Y'all can say what you want and sit here and say, "Oh, well, I don't give a fat rat." But somebody's going to have to get in these players' face and make them play football. Now here we are. We gave the shine to a rookie quarterback. Helped him throw his first touchdown pass on the first play, and run a touchdown in. And he picked on the guy that was on the opposite side of Trayvon Diggs. So all Washington did was rush 4, and they dropped 7. And Dak had a major problem with that. And here we go. We get put on the biggest stage ever on a Monday night to be exploited. Monday night to face the GOAT. Which, after the first game, they interviewed the linebacker, last name White. You know what he said? He said, "Oh, yeah, we knew everything they was going to do. We knew they weren't going to stick to the run. We knew they were going to run some slants and some curl routes, so we already knew that." But what do you expect when you got a backup quarterback calling you offensive plays? People, I don't know. Cowboy huddle, I don't know. But throwing 15 interceptions, there's no way you're going to make the Super Bowl. 15. And you miss 5 games. So, if it was me as coach, I'm going to keep that score 26-6 everywhere in that locker room. I want paper, I want flyers, I want everything on everybody's locker, and I want everybody to leave it on there. Now, I'm going to tell you how Jimmy Johnson would have handled that after that game. Jimmy Johnson would have told the flight attendants, don't even serve them water. And if anybody talks, let me know who it is, because I don't want no talking on the way home. And people, again, I keep saying, until they do right by Jimmy Johnson, how easy Jerry Jones can put the product in the Ring of Honor, but you can't put the producer of the product of Emmett Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin. Jerry, until you do right by Jimmy, that's where we're gonna be, my friend. Anyway, I took up enough of your time. And I know you guys probably got things to do, so I'm not going to hold y'all any longer. But I just wanted to take this time, guys, because look like we are repeating ourselves. Backups with backups. Who knows? But hey, make sure you like the hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And we got some things coming up tomorrow. We got the G and Mikey mic'd up tomorrow night. Then we got What's Up Wednesday on Wednesday night. So you guys make sure y'all stay tuned because we got some things that's going on for the probably rest of the week up until we get to the playoff game. So make sure you stay tuned and leave your comments of what y'all think about the game. But just my take and my opinion. But again, everybody got their own opinion. So, without further ado, I'm going to get on up out of here and get ready to watch this TCU and Georgia game. So, hopefully we can hypnotize those Bulldogs. Go TCU.